I was walking one day when I happened upon an old man. He was sitting on a bench, staring into the distance as if it were endless. I smiled politely as I passed, but his voice rasped behind me. A voice like his hands, wrinkled and often used, but still sharp with wisdom and concern. It was a question he posed to me. "How do I know that you exist?" he asked. I stopped and turned to face him. His deep-set eyes were traced with anxiety. I stood a dozen silent paces from him, but I didn't return to his bench. After a moment of thought, I spoke. "You don't any more than I know that you do." His lips twitched in what may have been a smile, but I couldn't really tell.
3, 2, 1.
Right, ladies and gents, good evening. Welcome. I'm sorry that it took a while, but if I want to stream for Tank Mechanic Simulator on Steam, on the official store page, and on my own YouTube channel, then I have to use the Restream.io application, and it's always a pain in the ass to get it done. It's not a pain in the ass for Steam, but it's a pain in the ass to get it right on YouTube. I hope it will come through, and otherwise it will just be a stream on Steam. The reason why I like it on my own channel is because then I have a copy of the stream that was, you know. And when I stream only on Steam, I don't have a copy of the stream afterwards, or you can't re-watch the stream. Alright, let's see, I hope the time here didn't... No, so normally at 35 it should come through on YouTube as well. I'm just going to focus here on Steam. Hey bitch, of YouTube? Okay, it's live on YouTube as well. I just made a mistake earlier. My wife says it's live, but I don't see it. But okay, never mind. If it's live, it's live. Okay, guys. First things first. The museum that changed. A lot of people are asking questions about. I have to change this tank, don't I? This is blinding us, mate. A lot of people are asking about the museum and that they don't see any change in the museum at all. They don't see extra space or anything. And that is exactly right. There is no extra space in the museum. Not in the sense of there is an extra door or gate or port that you can open and you have extra space. No, the developers just gave us 4 extra slots in the museum. As you can see, there is one here, museum stand, and actually, no, there isn't. There is one here. This is an extra one, and you can see it at the museum stand. There is one here. This is an extra slot with the museum stand, and this is an extra slot with the museum stand. So we have 1, 2, 3, and normally I should be able to put something here as well, which I still didn't do. So that is how the museum is got extended, actually. It's just the same space, but we got 4 extra slots. And yes, I should be able to put a tank here as well. Why don't I have 12 tanks? Why don't I have 12 tanks? Let me check. Oh no, I still have an open slot on position 12. Alright. Now, when the game is still loading, and you turn around quickly, then you see things like this, you see? The game just can't render that fast, but it's getting better already than a couple of moments ago. The game just needs lots of time to load. Okay, let's move this one towards the paint room. And the one that was standing in the paint room is now going to stand over here, but we are going to get rid of it in a bit. I just want to change the white KV2 to another color. I wanted it. I wanted to be a remake of the Brava KV2 from Girls und Panzer, and one particular one is completely white with the Brava flag on the side of the turret, but the white in this game for some reason is like completely eye blinding. By the way, if you have any questions for me, for those who are watching on Steam or YouTube, whatever, don't hesitate to ask them. I will try to answer them as good as possible. And if I don't know the answer, then I keep everything. I keep track of all the questions. That is also the reason why I want to stream simultaneously on my own YouTube channel, because then I have a backup. And questions that I can't answer, I ask the developers later, and then I get back to you at my own coffee page or during the next stream or whatever. Alright, let's see. We are going to give this baby another color. There is no way to make it a little bit maybe like that, but then we are turning it more gray than white, aren't we? We are already in the gray shading here. Maybe I can do it like that, yeah. Maybe I can do it like that, more gray, and then it's not eye blinding. It's actually still white. Still pretty white, isn't it? It's still pretty white. And let's add some damage. For now it's only 2D, but somebody asked me, can you make a 2D something so that you can fake bullet holes and all? And I've made a little something here. This is too big. This is kind of too big. And then you can like fake bullet holes, you see. Let's say that he got hit here, and we are going to keep that bullet hole in the turret. Let's see. Where was it hit? Here? Are we going to make it hit here? Or here? We can rotate it as well. That is also something stupid. Look, when you don't have, you see now the bullet hole is there, and more than one actually, and you can only undo one. For fuck's sakes. That is also something that has to change, I think. When you already have a decal selected and then you use the sliders to rotate or to scale, or you use the sliders when they are kind of like this on the tank, and I use the slider here and it doesn't slide immediately, but then in the background behind this window you did put the decal, and that is something that I didn't report yet. I didn't report it yet. Okay, where are the girls in Panzer? Here they are. Alright. Uppa, and I have it again. So you have to make sure that you don't do that on the tank, otherwise in the background you are adding the decal on the tank. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this, and everybody will recognize this tank, of course. All these Girls in Panzer decals you can find in the Steam Workshop. I've made them and they are all there. You just have to subscribe to it and that's it. Okay, move this one back to the museum on place 1, and then the KV-1 is going to come back here. There we go. Now, yesterday I uploaded a new batch of decals for the British nation. When you scroll down, you will find these are all decals for the American nation, all the different armored divisions. Then we go down, we have nation flags. When we go down here, we have all British armored division decals, and also this one already ready to go for when the new tank comes in the game. It's the Little Willie. I'm just going to put it here to show you guys, but that is that will come on the side of one of the two new tanks the developers are working on. Little Willie 1915. Little Willie is, if you don't know what or who Little Willie is the first prototype ever built into a tank. Little Willie. And all the other decals are historical correct British Armored Division decals. I've put them already in game. Why did I put them in game? Of course, because the developers are working on two new tanks, and going to show you. Just let me have a look. Let me have a look. The developers published development status 83 en in development status komt er deur misschien? Oh, ik zie het weer niet. Just a second guys, I'm going to refresh my chat of YouTube. Chatting is disabled for this live stream. What the fuck? Okay. Just a sec, Chris. I'm coming. Like I said, for me it's going wrong because for me it says it's still trying to connect to my stream. Can you believe it? Can you actually believe it? That is the reason why I'm having no chat here. Everything is going sideways. Sam, maak je die een link door, die URL? Kom boven, URL. Een keer deur. Ik versta het hier niet meer. Apparently I'm still having issues with streaming on YouTube here. It's unbelievable. It's going sideways. Not a bit, but a lot. Ah, here it is. It's streaming on YouTube here. It's here it is, and people are chat. Where is he? Oh, Chris. Chris. Hello there, buddy. No, I was not seeing my I was not seeing my chat, but just a sec. I'm going to chat in a new window. Yes, please. Yes. And now I have the chat there, and yeah, okay. Sorry, folks. So, Chris, hi, good evening. Welcome. I don't think this chat's working again. Yes, it is working, but when I use Restream for streaming on Steam and YouTube simultaneously, it's always a little bit fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I have my chat now in a different window. Hey, Rosin, good evening. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How are you doing tonight, guys? I was gone for a while, I was a bit busy. Yay. Hello there. Welcome back then. Welcome back. Okay, so why am I talking about the British nation in this game? Why did I make this decal Little Willie 1915? Why did I make all the British decals which you can see right here? Well, the reason for that, or the answer for that, is boom, 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 boom. Right here. This is the reason. Dear mechanics, welcome to our 83rd development status update. We would like to show you new tanks that we are working on, so that is still work in progress. WIP, WIP, work in progress. Additionally, next week we will look into tank parts naming system, as it requires some modifications to be more clear and useful. This is one of the most reported bug fix overhaul requests. Indeed, there are a lot of names that can be done better. But then, they give us some screenshots here, mate. I was just saying about I am thinking of getting that Snow Runner game. Looks good. I didn't have a look at it yet. Oh, wasn't that with the truck with the snow plow and something like that? Okay, the developers gave us screenshots of 2 new tanks they are working on. Apparently they are working with Blender. Although this work area is exactly the same as Blender. Okay. So this little body, this little tank, and then this one. Of course, this one, if you are just a little bit into tanks, then you know that this is Little Willy. This is the first tank, first prototype built ever. This is Little Willy. 3 screenshots: the front, the back, the side, and from the top. So there was place for a round turret. As you can see, it's not on there, but there was, well, later on there was a round turret in which they could place machine guns. But yeah, this was Little Willy, the first tank, and I wrote about it as well on my Ko-fi page, where you can find lots of my stuff. And if you like my stuff, where you can buy me a coffee or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tank Mechanic Simulator development status 83, Little Willy and Vickers E history lessons. So I can go over this if you want. It's like spin tires but better. Alright. So these are the 2 tanks the developers showed us, right? So we have this one, which is exactly the same as this one, and that is the Vickers Armstrongs Mark E, or short the Vickers Type E. I'm going over what I wrote. It's not that long actually, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of history. Why? Because the game says on Steam that it's a game about World War II tanks. This tank and Little Willy, definitely Little Willy, was not a World War II tank. It was a World War I tank, or what was built after World War I and before World War II. Although this Vickers E was used during World War II as well in the early beginning. This tank was first developed in 1928, and it was purely done for commercial reasons. Actually, the British Army took one look at it and decided that they didn't like it, and this is what really happened. Which is one of the stupidest things they ever did, actually. And why? You will know in a bit why. Anyways, it was designed by Vickers purely for export, and it sold pretty well. Especially the Russians bought a lot of them and copied them. They came with the T-26, which is fully based on this Vickers Armstrong Mark E tank. This tank was quite an exciting design in any aspect. When it was first built, it came with a double turret both for machine guns, which you can see on this picture. Double turret, and not cannons, but 2 machine guns in it. Afterwards, they favored a larger turret with the 47mm OQF 3-pounder gun in it, and the foreigners followed that example. So everybody who bought the tank, every other nation who bought the tank, followed that example of one turret with the 47mm OQF 3-pounder gun, and even other guns as well actually. The tank was powered by a 4-cylinder Armstrong Siddeley engine, which had half the power of the later Vickers medium tank. For this tank that was between 80 and 98 horsepower. The engine was located at the back of the tank and was lying on its side actually. The gearbox and the steering system were found at the front of the tank, which was pretty unique for this tank, and which was also a reason that the British Army didn't like actually, because they were fond of everything in the back of the tank, the gearbox and the steering mechanism and such. The suspension is rather complex, certainly for its time. It used 2 axles, each of which carried a 2-wheel bogie to which a second set of bogies was connected with a leaf spring. Upward movement of either set of bogies would force the other down through the spring. This was considered to be fairly good system and offered better than normal cross-country performance. Nevertheless, it was this suspension system that the British Army didn't like at the tank. The British Army really didn't like this little tank, did they? Like mentioned earlier, a lot of these tanks were built and exported all around the world. Even the Americans tested one, but they never bought one. That was also the closest the Brits ever got to sell a tank designed to the Americans. So they never sold a tank to the Americans. Generally speaking, this tank was very popular. It was reasonably cheap. The only trouble with this, Vickers spent far too long with the same design. They kept it in the catalog for 10 years or even more, and it was getting a bit long in the tooth when they finally decided to give it up. By the Second World War had broken out. By then, the Second World War had broken out, and there wasn't any need anyway. Eventually, the British Army then used this tank as training vehicle. So this vehicle was never used by the Brits in combat, just as a training vehicle. Normally, this tank was used by a 4-man crew, driver, and then the commander, the gunner, and the loader in the turret. In this tank, they were pretty free to move around in the tank. Way more compared to more modern tanks, in which you had to sit at your place and stay at your seat. To conclude, this was one of the best designs ever produced in Great Britain in its days. So that is the first tank, and that is also a tank we are going to get for, indeed, also a new nation. Britain, Great Britain. Hey Chris, how are you doing? I'm doing great, mate. I'm doing great. Sorry that I answer this late, but I first wanted to go to the information of the tank body. Okay, the second tank they are going to give us is Little Willie. Well, they call it a tank because it was metal plates with a track at both sides. But actually, we will learn that it wasn't actually an armored vehicle because there was no armor whatsoever. The Little Willie was the first completed tank in history. For the first Little Willie, the Brits ordered tracks from the Creeping Grip Tractor Company in Chicago. But those tracks, they didn't seem to work at all. Those were originally tractor tracks, and they were not strong enough for this tank and kept breaking and running off. Eventually a new set of tracks got developed by the two engineers, William Tritton and Walter Wilson. Those new kind of tracks were a real success story for the British tank. When Little Willie appeared late 1915 with its new track on, it was really just a predecessor of what was to come. The vehicle was named rather humorously rather humorously to the German Crown Prince Wilhelm, although he was actually known as Little Willie even in Germany. The vehicle is only an unarmed metal box with a reverted construction. It was really simple, but then again they only wanted to test the tracks and the gearbox. Inside there's a Daimler 105 horsepower 6-cylinder engine and a gearbox and a huge differential system for steering. The latter was a huge job for the driver and its mate and his mate. They had to pull rather huge levers to try to steer this metal box into corners. Also, there was no suspension system whatsoever, something the crew must have felt while crossing a trench. The access was through a door at the back of the tank, like mentioned earlier. The metal plates were just that, boilerplate. Bullets would go right through the tank. And as you can see, we are going to have a look at the design, the back. This is a door here at the back. Normally it's not that clear here, but normally this would be the door to open up and through where the tank crewman had to go in. Okay, I lost my chat again. There it is. How are you doing, Chris, by the way? So, the Little Willie and the Vickers Type E are two new tanks and a new nation we can expect in the game. Nice, isn't it? Now, let's see. Repairing a tank, a Panther. A Panther? Are we going to repair Panther? Maybe just quickly and then sell it. It's already derusted. I think I've derusted the engine as well. There are just some parts that need to come off. Oh, come on. Disassemble. I don't think there is anything else I can disassemble. Nope. Disassemble this because it's replaceable. Only it will say. Let's see. And there are other things that are replaceable only, if I'm not mistaken. This we can still do. So guys, what do you guys think of the two new tanks we are going to get and the new nation actually? And something else I want to talk about actually is, and I want to ask the community, is would you mind that the developers would add new tanks to the game through a DLC system? And don't get me wrong, I don't know what they are going to do in the future. I do know that the tanks they're working on right now will probably come to the game for free. But even that, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Otherwise, they would have mentioned already about giving it to us through a DLC. But personally, I think we don't have to forget that The Generals is a company. It's a game development studio. They have to earn on their game. If they are going to give us every tank for free, just adding it to the game for free, then I don't really get how they are going to make money on the game, to be honest. And I wouldn't mind, personally, I will tell you what I feel or think personally. Personally, I wouldn't mind having to buy for a DLC to get some new tanks in the game. It's exactly the same system as for Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, and let us be honest, that game is a success and people don't mind buying for the extra cars, for the extra DLCs. They just don't mind. I wouldn't mind to pay for DLCs just to get extra tanks in the game. But that is just a suggestion from my part towards the developers. Take your time in creating awesome tanks, but to be able to earn something on your game, deliver those tanks through DLCs. That's just my, once again, that's just my personal opinion. Also want to state that it's not because I'm able to stream officially on the store page that I'm representing the developers or the General's development studio, because I'm not. I'm just a tank mechanic, just like you guys, and everything I say is my own opinion, and it can 100% be that my opinion doesn't stroke with the opinion of the developers or the other way around. So for instance, me saying now I wouldn't mind that they give us new tanks through a DLC system, so in other words that we have to pay for it, that is not something the developers said or suggested or are thinking about. That is just my personal opinion. Keep that in mind. But I wouldn't mind. Otherwise, if they are, that there are so many things that are on their agenda, and I can't possibly believe that you can, as a development studio, that you can keep adding new stuff to the game without getting paid for it. If you're only going to try to survive or to earn on the selling of the game, then I don't think you're not going to, it's not going to cut it. I don't think it's going to cut it. Because once you have the game, you have the game. Logic. But it's true, right? It's not like the game costs a tremendously amount of money. It's how much now? Not even 17 euros. Let's say that, not even being ridiculous, let's say that they just ask not even 10 euros for, how much do they ask for a Car Mechanic Simulator? So, and why am I not getting out of here by jumping? In this tank, I always get stuck. Yeah, I made it. Through the bag, that is. What's also going to be nice is that they are working on way more detailed engines. That is going to be awesome, if you ask me. That is just going to be awesome. I just started to crawl in Blender, with the program Blender. I'm not a 3D artist. I would like to be able to create stuff in Blender, and what was I about to say? I wanted to come to something, but I forgot. Yeah, that I already see from the little I've seen from Blender. I already realized that creating these things and making them work, like, it's not you have to create a 3D tank and that's it. It has to be right on the inside, and it has to be completely disassemble-ish. You have to be able to disassemble it. And I don't think that is an easy task to do, to create that. Creating a tank just on the outside, historical correct, that is one thing. But then also the inside and making it so that you can take it apart, for like for this game, I don't think that's an easy task to fulfill. Nobody with questions? Not yet. I don't even know how many there are watching right now. Like my YouTube, the whole thing of YouTube in Streamlabs OBS is not working at the moment. I have my chat as an external window now from YouTube itself. And on Steam, I can't see how many people are connected. The way I'm doing this tank now is really the fast way. You guys know that I can work on these tanks in two ways. The fast way and the slow way. The slow way will take me 1 to 2 hours even to do tank. The fast way is the way I'm doing it right now. And that is absolutely not taking the tank apart. Trying to do the whole tank without taking anything apart. I don't know. I thought so. I thought there was something missing. Okay, then we press X to go to the painting mode. I'm just curious, how many people are watching? 12? Is that it? Steam. Alright. 27 people. I can't see that. For me it says 12 and I would have to refresh the page. Maybe. Let's see, does that work? Refreshing. Oh, 30. Yay. So folks, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Are you guys as excited as I am for the new tanks to come? The Vickers E and Little Willy. Really. This is really the easy way, ladies and gents. Don't forget about that. Now I'm really using the easy, lazy way, actually. Some people say that it's not that much of a mechanic simulator. It's more like a de-rusting, sanding and painting simulator. Well, I can't say they are wrong about it. Let's just hope that that is going to change in the future. That we can actually repair parts separately. That would be nice. Being able to repair parts on the crafting bench, for instance. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? Okay. I'm going to buy all the Oh shit! What? That is also different. Right now, when you click, normally when you clicked buy missing parts, when you went to this screen, the tank analysis screen, and you clicked buy missing parts, it just bought the missing parts, right? But now, it brings you to this screen, which is actually a, oh, I get it. This is the shop cart that we're talking about. This is all in the shop cart. This is all the parts that are missing. Oh my goodness. And that's going to cost me $46,000 to buy all of this. Wow. 46,000. Okay, let's write that down. 46,200 and a bit it was. Let's say 46,000. 46,200. And let's see when this is finished and we want to sell the tank, how much the tank is going to give us. Actually, I hope this wasn't a client tank. No, this wasn't a client tank. Phew! Lucky me. I should have checked that before I bought all those parts, but okay. So now we are going to put that baby back together. That is going to cost us most time. And also, it's not only the missing parts. I have to outsource some parts as well. I'm getting private messages here like it's Christmas. What the hell is going on? Oh. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. We'll look at it tomorrow. I'm streaming the game now on Steam. It's the developers are talking to me actually. Alrighty, that's good to know. They fixed something in the workshop uploader. Steam Workshop uploader works perfectly, but oh yeah, now I have that as well. What people report constantly, images not shown in the storage panel. Now I have that as well. Strange. Or I never paid attention to that earlier, or this is the first time, really the first time that I have this. I have no clue. And is that every time? Let's go back. Storage. This is not the storage, idiot. This is the storage. And now everything seems to be there. Oh no, 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 no. Look. Inner road wheel. Inner road wheel 2. Inner road wheel 2. Inner road wheel 2. It's the inner road wheels that are road wheel. Road wheel arm. Road wheel, road wheel. Sprocket wheel. It's all related to the tracks. Yeah. Is that a coincidence or not? I don't know. It's all related to the tracks. All the missing... Oh no, it's not. The whole MG is also gone. The whole MG is also gone. So it's tracks and MG. I think this is the first time for me that there are pictures missing, or I didn't pay attention to it earlier. I don't know. Okay, let's get back to the actual building here. What I like about this game is, okay, it's not everything is not everything is as detailed as in real life, of course, but it does give you a nice overview of how the engine is built and how the rest of the tank is built up. Actually, it's not all in perfect detail, but it still gives you a nice look on how it's done. But it would be very nice that we can just take the whole tank apart, because now I did everything the fast way. But it would be nice to be able to take it apart and to actually repair parts ourselves, just like you select it and you outsource it. But instead of outsourcing, go to the workbench or the crafting bench, make it a crafting workbench, whatever, give it a name, but let us repair parts on the crafting bench or on the workbench, whatever you want to call it. That would be nice. And then we would really be busy as a mechanic instead of painter. And it's perfectly doable. There are other games published by Playway, by other development studios. I have it as well. I didn't really dive into it that much, but I can do that the next couple of days if you want. I also have Plane Mechanic Simulator, and that is just like this game is a nice game for tank enthusiasts. Plane Mechanic Simulator is a good game for plane mechanic enthusiasts, planes of World War II. And in that game you can actually repair parts on a workbench, and the way it's done, it's very nice, really very nice. Now let's put it back. The way it's done for Plane Mechanic Simulator is really nice. I did play it that much that I know how it works and that I tried out all the features. But that's it. I didn't really start the grind to upgrade whenever we can upgrade. Well, I will do that the next couple of days. Lately I'm into all of those simulator-ish games. I even now, after 2 years, have the game House Flipper with the new DLC Garden Flipper. And the 10th of May, I think, or in 10 days, we are going to get yet another DLC for the game. So why not playing a bit of Plane Mechanic Simulator? I will do that the next couple of days. This is also something weird, the road wheels or other parts which need a bolt. Look, the bolt isn't even painted entirely, which is a no-go. We ordered new parts, so those new parts should come with new bolts, not with old bolts. Everything is nicely painted, so the bolts should be nicely painted as well, no? Or is that nitpicking? I don't know. Look at those bolts. That is ugly as hell for new stuff. Torsion bars. That is something you always have to pay attention for when you do everything the hard way. Taking the tank completely apart. Because torsion bars is something that easily gets forgotten. Or to take out, or to put it back in. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to repeat this every stream I do for the game. Some people don't know that. Every time I want to install a part, I get this, the assembly menu. And then I can choose which part I put on. Let's say that I have all the new parts of the tank and all the old parts of the tank still in my storage. Then that way I can choose through the assembly menu which part I actually want to put on the tank. Let's say that you want to put half a fixed tank. Like I saw community members restoring half of the tank with new parts and half of the tank with old parts, with rusted parts. And that you can do through the assembly menu, choosing which parts you want to add to the tank. And how do you get that menu? Because by default it is not activated. So you go to the settings, then you go to game, and here you have an option, use assembly menu, and you can put that on or off. And when it's off, and by default it's off, when it's off, the system is most of the time going to wanting to take the rusted part and put the rusted part back on the tank, while actually you don't want that, and you want the new part, the painted part on the tank. That is where the assembly menu kicks in. You have to go to the settings, then go to games, and then put assembly menu instead of off, on, activated. constantly getting dry mouth of talking so much. And again, the old bolts not even painted completely. Yeah, that is kind of weird. That is kind of weird. Unless you have to look at it like this. You send everything out for repairs, but the bolts you keep yourself. It is possible that it's like that. Oh, yeah. I get it. Here. That is what I missed. Okay. No. I want the track first, buddy. Now we can put the armor plates on. One side done. Almost. Some details. Yeah, I don't really look at it no more to buy the new parts because have a look at the upper right corner and the amount of money I have there. Look, and these bolts, they are painted completely. Would it be signed, would it be a difference according to the side of the tank? One side painted, one side not painted correctly. As you can see, a lot of torsion bars, which we already missed from the other side. I didn't put them in from the other side. Torsion bars is something that get missed a lot or forgotten a lot. And in the end they have a tank and they don't have 100% completion. And they wonder how that is. What the reason for that is? No. These bolts are not painted either. So I was lucky there at the front. Oh, these are painted completely. Oh my goodness. How many of you are around right now? I would have to refresh again. The Panther. It's one of the better designs of Germany. It's weird, isn't it, with the bolts? Some bolts are completely done and some bolts are partially done. All those wheels, mate. Sprocket wheel. That's the one which pulls the track around. There we go. It's not everything. I still miss things inside and outside. The turret, for instance. And those freaking torsion bars who are not all in yet. You see that? From the outside, you would think that everything is already in there, but less is true. 2 brand new fire extinguishers. Actually, it's a lie. It's not brand new. They are just, I don't know, repaired. When you click on it, it says when you are disassembled the tank, and when you click on it, it says replaceable only. Or you can just outsource them and then they get repaired. Can you imagine a repaired fire extinguisher? I wouldn't feel safe. I wouldn't feel safe. Not a bit. That is why I always go to the inside of the tank and I take position of I change positions. Right now I'm going to the other side. Here we go. Just to see if everything is put in place. Oh yeah, this should be a machine gun, right? I don't know if you can put one there. I always struggle. I saw somebody asking the feature to be able to reinstall machine guns. Well, that feature is actually in the game, but I'm always struggling with it as well. As you can see, it's not in the game with in the assembling menu. Let's see if I can change to let's get out of it. Let's have a look. Prop panel, but I don't have a machine gun to put in here. If I had a machine gun, so how did I do it? I kind of, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm at the disassembly mode. It's not logic, but it is what it is. I'm at the disassembly thing, and then I just click it. I click on this, and if you click one other time, it says on the lower left, click to open panel. And if I had a whole MG, I was able to put an MG in here, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I have an MG lying around in my museum. Wait a minute. Let's go to the museum and let's check if I still have an MG lying around. I don't know if it takes that long for you guys, but for me it takes pretty long to change rooms. Not only rooms, but also going to outside, whatever. Every time the game needs to load something, it takes like forever. I want to finish this tank for today. Come on, game, work with me. Just work with me. There we go. We are in the museum, and I think I have an MG lying around here, you see? This is an MG that they are talking about, right? This is a Tommy, that's a Grease. Ah, I think I have the right one. Now, back to the tank. Now it's going to take a while, again. And meanwhile, I'm going to check my Discord. Oh, it is about the game. They were tagging me there in the bog section. Okay. Strange. Somebody has issues again with the same camouflage as being put automatically by the system on his tanks. I had the same issue some time ago, but that got fixed actually. Prop panel, okay, that was not the MG I need to put in here. But then I don't get it. The whole MG. I don't get why we can't buy that. If we ask buy all parts of the tank, that whole MG is also part of the tank, no? Why are we not able to buy a whole MG? Good question, isn't it? We are not able to buy weapons to put on the tank. Right? Hull MG, but what is this? Wait a minute. I don't get... Oh. Strange. It's probably not that. What I bought is this probably. It's two parts, this and this. And both parts have the same name. Yeah, I still don't have a Hull MG. So I need a Hull MG to put in here. I don't have one. Apparently. That's strange actually, that we can't buy a Hull MG. If I want my tank to be complete, I want it to be complete. You know what I mean? But why can't we buy, or is it meant to be found? Are those things meant to be found? The guns. When you are searching for a tank to excavate, that you can find collectibles, you can find weapons. Maybe it's just meant to be found. It is possible. I would have to ask the developers about this, if it's intentionally done or not. We are almost done. Still a little bit of work at the turret. I'm now inside the turret. This German tank, together with the Tiger 1, they are both the most detailed tanks in the game, if you ask me. The most parts, the most bolts. And it's easy to forget something. That's why I like to switch places, all the crewmen's places, because when you switch, that's the only way to perfectly see if that's the gunner. That's a little bit closer to this whole thing, and then I already see that there is a floor plate missing there. Here everything is the commander's hatch. There we go. And now I'm going to switch to the other side. So I need to load the side. I think we got everything done. The grenade launchers. I think we have everything done on the inside now. Let's put that beauty back on the tank and let's check our progression. 97%. So there are things missing. How can you check that? You can of course go over the tank and have a look. So this is a part. But you can, so this is a way to do it, go over everything. But you can easily just go to your tank analysis screen and then you can see what is 100% complete and what not. And I thought so that I forgot parts on the engine. I forgot parts on the engine and on the fuel system. On the engine I forgot the dipstick, and when you click on it, it will guide you towards that dipstick in transparent view, like this. And then you can easily at... Oh, fuck me. We need to take the engine out. We need to take the engine out to Papa. Okay, Dipstick. Dipstick, where are you, Dipstick? Where is the dipstick of the Panther tank? Hello? Oh, here. Dipstick. Papa. Let's put it back in. What do I do now? What? Oh, come on. Yeah, it's not the turret. Oh my goodness. It's time to quit. It's time to quit. This was ridiculous. Okay, go back to this. So the engine is now 100%. But apparently I forgot some stuff here. A fuel pipe, air filter pipe, and probably some other stuff as well. There. Cooling water outlet. What else are we missing? Can just go back here. Fuel system, fuel hose. A fuel hose over here. And a fuel hose over here. All stuff that I missed. And why did I miss it? Because I did it the easy way. And I didn't take the tank completely apart. That is why I'm missing things. If you take the tank completely apart, part by part, you know what you had in your hands. Normally. You know what you had in your hands. And if you didn't have something in your hands, you know, okay, that is a part that was missing. I have to buy that. I have to remember that when I put the tank back together, etc., etc. Oh, for fuck's sakes. And I forgot a little part on the turret. And to be able to do that, I have to put it back on the turret stand. I forgot about that Lotus periscope, but you can only install it if you put the turret on the turret stand. Normally the tank is now 100%. Everything is 100%. Tank value. Oh, righty. So the parts costed me 46,200 and the value of the tank now is 114,944. Let's see, I wrote that down. Let's see if that changes if we put camo on it or whatever. Let's just have a look. Move it to the paint room. And it switches up with the KV1. Why? Because that KV1 was in the paint room. If there is a tank on the position where you want to put the other tank, it's just going to switch. Alright, let's see. A Panther. What are we going to do? Some crazies. Crazy shizzles. This is actually a nice one. We can scale it. so that it looks even better. We can rotate it, a little bit more life in it, like this. Okay, apply. Then we are going to put decals on it, so it's a German tank. A German tank. Let's see. You know why I made the 007 number separately? I made a lot of numbers, but I made 007 separately, and now I say 007, but actually it has nothing to do with 007 or James Bond. It has everything to do with the tank number of one of German finest when it comes to tank commanders. Whitman! That was Whitman's number on the tank when he got killed. I'm going to put a little flag on the back. Let's put that there. There we go. A beautiful Panther. Let's see now. Is it worth as much? It's worth exactly the same. So with or without camo or decals, it is worth exactly the same. So we can sell it for exactly the same amount of money. For now, I think I'm just going to put it in my museum. I still had an empty stand 12. Let's put it there. Let's close the door. Let's have a look at the museum, and then I'm going to quit. Later on I will maybe sell it. I already have a Panther in my museum. I don't think there is a tank that I... Yeah, the Germans. The Panzerkampfwagens. I don't think they are all in the museum. Because back then, before we had 12 slots, I made a choice. So, I don't know if they are all in the museum right now. I would have to check it out. You can easily check which tanks are in the game at the starting menu of the game. There you have an overview of all the tanks, or you can get an overview of all the tanks in the game. Alright. And indeed, he's nicely put over here, and the other one is put over there. We are going to change this museum stand. Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panzerhaus A. That is the complete name of the tank. There we go. German flag there. And the white is way better, isn't it? Oh my god, it's better. Let's change this poster because it's standing. Here we go. Pravda! Join Pravda in our glorious march to victory. Inquire with Prav on NA serve. Bring piroshki and vodka. The guys who know Girls in Panzer know what this poster means and what this tank means. Pravda. Alrighty. I'm going to put that one gun back. It's a pity that I wasn't able to... I think this isn't a whole MG. How is this one called? MG34. No, this is something different. MG's 34s. Oh, we'll have to look for MGs. This is a DT. There is one missing here as well. God damn it. And I don't even know if there is one inside here. No, there isn't. I'm missing tank parts. Alright, so ladies and gents, this was it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I have Gray's guns here and Gray's guns there. They have to be put together. Although, never mind. Somebody asked on Facebook how much I've put the price of my, let's see. It's 20 bucks. I asked 20 bucks to come in. I have $11,000 income from my museum. Currently 550. 550 times 20 is 11,000. So the amount you get here, income from tickets, is the amount of the current museum visitors. So right now I have 550 museum visitors. In total I had 139,478 museum visitors. And just for the fun of it, let's do that, and then I'm going to sign off. Let's do that. 139,478 times 20. I already earned $2,789,560 with only people who visit my museum. Can you imagine? So 20 bucks is a fair price if you ask me. People are happy and people want to come and visit the museum. Alright, let's do a quick save here. Yeah, it can be on save 1 again. Oppa. Just one more thing I want to show, just shortly. I hope it loads quickly. Well, I know it's going to take too much time. But when you go back to the main menu, then you can go to an overview of all tanks in the game, and you can see them all separately. You can rotate around them, so you can oh, here we are here already. Overview. You click on overview, and then you get a list on the left side in the top left corner. Here you see, you get a list of all tanks that are now in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I would have 2 slots I would need 2 more slots in the museum, so I definitely don't have all the tanks in there. It's a couple of the Panzerkampfwagens and the T-34-76 that I don't have in the museum. Yeah. But here you have an overview, and you can nicely scroll, go around the tank, look at them. Alright, that was the last thing I wanted to show you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I am going to do this more often, these streams for Tank Mechanic Simulator in the evenings. It's relaxing for me and for you guys. It's just sit back, relax, and chat. Wish you all a good night, and see you all next time. Bye bye.
Transmission complete.